YouTube, what's up? How you doing? Welcome back. Chris Rod. Today we're going to be doing what I've been trying to do for the past few weeks, and that's going to be overseeding my backyard. As you guys can see from the last video, which I made probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, I know it's been a while, I scalped down half this side and left this side at a higher height. And as you guys can tell, over the course of 2 weeks, the Bermuda grass has come back and it's dominated. No, we got some issues inside the lawn. I'm not gonna get into the depth zone, but obviously you can see some of the brown spots and take a wild guess whose fault that is. No, I'm not gonna blame the dog. I'm gonna blame the dog. Anyways, we got debris inside the yard. We've been doing some flower pruning. My sunflowers, they've been dropping. I got all sorts of stuff along the rock wall here. Kind of hard to tell, but if you see that dark green grass, that's the perennial ryegrass from the last season. It's already growing back. So let's talk about what we're going to be doing today. Simply overseeding the grass with perennial rye. I said perennial, okay? I like to use perennial versus annual because the perennial ryegrass has a darker green look to it. That's all it is. That's the only reason why. And as you guys can see along my rock wall there, it came back. It's not an annual, okay? If you want, and you're doing an overseeding and you want it to die back, you don't want it to come back the next season, yeah, use an annual ryegrass, okay? That's fine, no big deal. But this video is specifically for my southern lawn, Bermuda lawn guys out there that like to overseed in the wintertime to have that nice dark green color, or that nice dark green lawn throughout the cooler parts of the year or the colder parts. Equipment needed, they're gonna make this as easy as possible. Lawnmower, edger, some peat moss, because what you want to do after you get your seed down, you want to give it a 1/4 inch, very small layer of peat moss, just to coat it to keep that seed down and keep the birds out of it, hopefully. You need your seed spreader. You can use a rotary spreader, or you can use a drop spreader for your edges, whichever you prefer. And then that little boy right there, that's a Landsea peat moss spreader, okay? You put your peat moss inside of it, you roll it, and it kind of siphons out the finer material from the bark that's found inside of peat moss, okay? Now, I get my seed from the Seed Superstore, and this is actually the remaining product that we had from the season last year. And obviously it's a 25-pound bag. So let's talk about the perennial ryegrass. It's a blend, okay? I think it's called like SS 9000, okay? It's got 3 different types of rye. It's got the Slugger, the Stellar, and the Grand Slam perennial ryegrass, and 0% weed seed, okay? That is the reason why I use a quality product from Seed Superstore versus what you can do also if you're the DIYer. You can get to Home Depot, you can get to Lowe's, you can buy some of their ryegrass, and that's fine. They've got some good product. I've used it before. Pennington is a product line that they carry. The difference between what you buy there and what you order online from a reputable seed store is the weed seedling concentration inside that bag. So I'm not trying to induce any kind of seeds from weeds into the lawn. So I buy some quality seed. And then as you guys saw, I have the Scott's starter fertilizer. The only reason why I'm using that one is because it's got a good amount of nitrogen, and I think it's like 24% nitrogen, but the phosphorus is what I'm going after when you're establishing seed. That's what you want, a product or a fertilizer that's high in phosphorus. That way you get that good root establishment and you push that root growth, okay? So that's the equipment needed. Let's talk about the temperatures and why I'm doing it in the first weekend of October. Last year I did it September 18th, if I'm not mistaken. So about the 3rd week in September, and I did it sooner last year because the year prior I had failed at the overseeding process for a multitude of reasons, but through the learning curve, I did it sooner. Now, the reason why I'm delayed this year, it is what it is. I've been doing overseeding, sod jobs, the work, busy, life. So here I am today. We got some good overcast. It might rain. Actually, the forecast says 90% coverage, okay? But let me explain what that means in El Paso in West Texas. That means we're gonna get a little sprinkle, okay? We don't get heavy rains, we don't get downpours. If you're in an area where you get a lot of rain, I probably would hold off on your overseeding job to avoid wash off. You don't want your seed or your peat moss to wash away all that product, okay? So if you want to wait for a cooler day or a sunny day where there's no forecast or no freaking hurricanes, advisable to go ahead and do that, all right? Now, a little cloud coverage, a little sprinkle isn't going to hurt my overseeding process today here in West Texas and El Paso. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. Follow along. I'll do a little bit of recording. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. The last thing I'm going to say about this overseeding process before I get to the recording is, once you got your seed down, the most important thing is to water. You want to water until you got good, ample coverage of the grass sprouts, the sprigs popping up. So essentially that means anywhere from 3 to 4 times per day, morning, afternoon, evening, for the next week to 2 weeks, okay? That is the key to a successful overseeding process, and I hope you guys stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and check out our Instagram page and our... what else do I got out there? Obviously the Facebook, and what's that new one? TikTok. I don't make a lot of TikTok videos, but I'm getting into it. So anyways, stay tuned. If you guys have any questions, again, leave the comments below, and hope you enjoy. All right, so before I get into this, let's just go over the steps that we're going to be taking today. As far as the overseeding process, this is the basic of basics, okay? We're going to scalp the lawn down. We're going to bring everything down. We're going to remove all this green grass. We're going to move as much of it as possible and get the lawn as low as possible so that we have exposed dirt, okay? The second step, you know, if you want to do the edging, as you guys know, we've got some taller grass growing along the rock wall. We're going to be edging that. Again, bagging those clippings and getting rid of them as well. That's step one. Step two is after you've got that as low as possible, you can apply your seed. Okay, once you get good evens coverage, you do your passes, north, south, east, west, your drop spreader, whatever it is. After you get your seed down, you're going to go ahead and put your fertilizer down, okay? Go in the low rate on the fertilizer. What you don't want to do is over apply per square footage. Next thing you know, you're burning your grass seed because you over applied with fertilizer. Then the last step is simply using the Landsea, or if you want to just throw out your peat moss, that's fine too. You just want to make sure you don't overcoat it. You cover the grass seed with no more than 1/4 inch of peat moss. After that, all you have to do is water your lawn, guys. That's it, water your lawn. Now, what I'm going to add to this is some additional steps that you can take if you feel you have some lawn thatch, okay? It is said and it's understood that if you've got a thick thatch layer out there, and don't confuse thatch with excessive grass clippings or the brown portion or the crowns of Bermuda grass, okay? A thatch layer is that spongy material between the soil surface and the actual crowns, okay? You can de-thatch your lawn before doing an overseeding process if it needs it. And the way that you test that is take a core puller, pull out a sample of soil, and actually look to see if you have a thatch layer. So once you pull that core out, you'll be able to tell if there's a thatch layer, okay? That's your opportunity to go ahead and use a de-thatcher, power raker, or the hand tool to go ahead and de-thatch the lawn. Now the additional step, besides the de-thatching, is an aeration. A lot of times in our northern grass types, our turf type tall fescues, our Kentucky bluegrasses, we do an aeration in the fall time. So if you're growing one of those grass types, a northern grass type, yeah, go ahead and do your aeration and overseeding process. You're going to be bypassing the whole scalping process, which what we're doing for our southern lawns today. But those are some just additional steps if you guys are in need of a de-thatch or aeration, or if you've got that northern grass type. But if you don't have one, you're down here in the south, you don't have excessive grass clippings or thatch layer inside of your lawn, you can bypass the de-thatching and aeration process. Moreover, lastly, in the south with our Bermuda lawns, when do we aerate? We aerate in the springtime, guys, not in the fall time. Now I'm gonna get to it. Hopefully that explains everything. Watch the video. Don't forget to subscribe. I gotta hurry up because my Cowboys are playing soon. Enjoy. Woo! Yeah, don't ever say that peat moss stuff don't get dusty, because it absolutely does. It don't matter how little or how much you guys put down. That's it for today's video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, like the video, give me a comment down below. If you guys have any questions about an overseeding process here in the South with Bermuda grass, or questions about any of your other overseeding or aeration or de-thatching processes, go ahead and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear back from you guys. Y'all stay tuned. It's now October. How are we going to prepare our lawns to have the greenest lawn on the block for Halloween? Stay tuned, you guys. Enjoy your weekend.